This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today is back and on the air. Good afternoon. Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Taco John's, where they are loaded with all kinds of goodies, including Nachos Navidad. 'Tis that time of year, remember, Taco John's for their delicious Nachos Navidad. Also, too, they have gift certificates and, again, all of the other goodies like Taco Tuesday, 6-pack and a pound. Again, you know the drill. Head on over to Taco John's of Cheyenne. Food is always delicious. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service having their hail of a sale over on Highway 30. Again, you are a fan of Jayco. Well, Jayco's got RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and they are specially priced here for the hail of a sale still going on Highway 30. Platte Valley Bank with 2 banking locations over on the north side. You'll find them at the original location on Vanda High and, of course, on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Key of Cheyenne, where the 18s are, well, you know, they're starting to march off the lot because the 19s are headed our way. And, again, you are looking for some sensational savings. You'll find it over at Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs with your doctor's prescription. Let Gene and his great staff fill those prescriptions, explain those medications to you, and they invite you to come on by and visit with them on Bluegrass Circle right next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body ×2, the main repair center over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank. Talk with them about their special CD rates with great annual percentage yields. Right now, First Tier Bank, you will find them open Monday through Friday at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria, Paisan cuisine at its finest all day, every day. Joe and his great staff invites you to come on in for some delicious pizza. Or you do calzone. You can do their sandwiches on their fresh baked bread. It's delicious eating all the time at Mondello's Pizzeria. Marv's Plumbing Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Remember them, especially to have those heating units looked after so we can get ready for what could possibly be a cold winter on the way. And do want to thank our very good friend Alexandra Mulliken, who came on by representing Ray and Cindy and the crew over at Chick-fil-A. Brought us over some great eats. We always got to put in some great plugs. Their delicious chicken nuggets and their peppermint chocolate chip milkshake, which I'm holding in my hand right now.
Good for you.
And it is absolutely delicious. I like it. And you're going to like it, too. Matter of fact, I know we always promote breakfast, but I want to promote this real quick while I got the opportunity. Remember at Chick-fil-A, and you go to the website, CheyenneChicken.com, they put out some great spreads. If you need them to come on by and cater like an office party, whatever the case may be, let Cindy and Ray and Alex and the great crew come on by and cater your little office function or big party. They will put together some awesome treats for you. Again, go to the website, CheyenneChicken.com, for more information. And we almost get our program. Oh, by the way, Chick-fil-A right there at the corner of Windmill and Delrange across from Menards, open Monday through Saturday for 3 squares, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And again, we always get our program underway with our scoreboard. It's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne, but before Nick gets into the scoreboard,
what do you got now?
I just want to remind everybody we got a full packed show today. Matter of fact, after we go into break for Pepsi, we'll be hearing from Joe Legerski, courtesy of was it Wyoming Vision? Is that what it is? Wyo Vision?
There you go.
And we'll hear about his big win last night. We also will hear some comments from Craig Bohl. We also have Vance Joseph. So again, and it's our coaches show today, the Cheyenne Stampede coaches show at 4:30. It is busy. I'll let you go to the scoreboard right now.
Oh, finally, it took you. Yeah, again, what is it? Already December.
We've been gone.
So like
for
it's
2
already
days.
been it's already into 2019.
Well,
after
we've been
all
gone
that.
for 2 days because obviously you just couldn't make it Monday.
What do you mean on Monday? What were we doing?
Holiday.
Exactly, celebrating at least Veterans Day. I don't know what you were doing, but again,
Working.
Yeah, I was as well, too. But again, in honor of Veterans Day, we took Monday off. Tuesday, we did have a contest here, and we'll recap that one with LCCC women's basketball. They were at home hosting Air Force Prep. Don't even look at me like that. They got the victory 71-62. So for LCCC, they moved to 4-2 overall after last night's victory, which, again, that game you can at least rewatch if you saw it last night live with us. The broadcast is still live on our 1480 KRAE YouTube, at least, channel. LCCC as well, women's soccer competing in the NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championship. They are in pool play currently. They did win on Monday, Tuesday's contest, however, against Eastern Florida State College. They did lose that contest 4-0, so they are not eliminated, but again, it is in the middle right now of pool play. And then also, too, NHL action for tonight. Only 4 games on the slate, but one game will be the St. Louis Blues in Chicago taking on the Blackhawks at the United Center. You can see that game on NBC Sports Network. Also, too, what? I thought you had something to say. Winnipeg Jets at home. They will host the Washington Capitals. Boston Bruins in the Pepsi Center taking on the Colorado Avalanche. That game will be at 8 o'clock. You can see it on Altitude Network. And last but not least, a battle of my 2 favorite teams, but it's going to be a good one. Vegas Golden Knights at home at T-Mobile Arena hosting the Anaheim Ducks. That game will get underway at 8:30 tonight, and you can see that game on NBC Sports Network as well. So that's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
It is a full slate of NBA games tonight in the Amway Center in Orlando. The Magic hosting the 76ers. Cavaliers will take on the Wizards in the Capital One Arena in D.C. Of course, that's the District of Criminals. The TD Garden, Boston, Mass, having the Celtics and the Bulls tonight. Heat and the Nets in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Pistons and the Raptors in the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Grizz and the Bucks tonight. That will be in the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. Pelicans and the T-Wolves in the Target Center. Knicks and Thunder in the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Jazz and the Mavericks tonight at American Airlines Arena in Big D. Spurs and the Suns at the Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix. And the Trailblazers and the Lakers. They will hook up tonight at Staples. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already. Grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
You know, you always worry about a letdown. We had a big game on the road at St. Mary's. Came right down to the last minute, and you wonder how your team's going to respond. And we talk about trying to improve upon the things we can. And I thought we did that tonight. I thought we came out focused. We got off to a good start. People were shooting the basketball, making the next pass. I thought Carla truly seized the court. When we were out running, she was finding people. Clara Tapia came out in the second half, made 2 big steals and got us going again. And so I think there was a lot of pluses to tonight's game. What I'm happy about is that when we have the big lead, that the team went in and still executed what we're trying to get done. A lot of times you'll see teams go in and everybody's out for themselves. And we just kept moving. We kept passing the ball. We found Teresa on the inside, forced them to start doubling her, and she was finding people open on the perimeter to shoot. So all in all, just a really good performance offensively. So much we need to still work on. But this was a game, once again, where we have scheduled, knowing the youth that we have, they have to be put in so many situations to try to find some success, because it's going to really step up here next week.
So are we looking at the new rendition of the Run and Gun Cowgirls here after
No.
the last 2 games?
No. We can shoot the basketball. And we have some players that even came in off the bench to watch Alba score. boy, she can shoot the basketball. You leave her open, and they felt comfortable being able to do that. You know, we play half-court basketball. I think one of the things when I take a look tonight, I was happy with Tommy Olson having 6 steals and 6 assists. And we do not press. We play in a half court, and that's all her making steals on rotation plays. And that's the stuff that we want to make sure we're working on and take away from it.
After playing 7 players against St. Mary's, you got all 12 in again today, and they perform well. Does it give you confidence going down when you've got tougher competition that they can come out and play and execute the way you want?
One of the things I knew that, you know, we played it too close to the vest at St. Mary's. The game was a situation where you really felt that 1 or 2 possessions could change this ball game. And so we hung in there, and we may have been tired towards the end. I know Bailey fouling out was a big issue. So tonight we knew that we were going to have to play more people, period. That was the first and foremost thing going into tonight's game. We did that, and then when you get the big lead, then it becomes easier to do that. But there's so many things we can learn from tonight, and that's what tonight was about.
Now you get 10 days to kind of prepare for, as you mentioned, the schedule gets obviously much tougher from here. And is this a nice break to kind of, where you can kind of look and see and kind of teach a little bit?
You know, it really is. We're going to be able to take a couple days off, get back in the gym, and more importantly, we have so much on film. And we're going to spend a great deal of time in the film room, talk about where we need to improve, where we're moving forward, because the competition increases tremendously from here on out. We know that, and it's going to see how, you know, our young players respond. We know what Bailey, Marta, Taylor, and Clara are going to give us. That's 4 players. We need probably 8 or 9. And so it's going to be interesting as we move forward. We know there's going to be some nights where we don't shoot the ball well, and we got to figure out a way what we're going to do then when we have to be able to find ways to score.
You know, she only played about 20 minutes tonight, but it just looks like Marta's playing with just so much confidence right now. Can you see a different player in her?
Yeah, I think Marta came out this year with a focus, knowing that this is her last go-round for Wyoming. And she's really come out. I know the first game she did not shoot the ball well. I believe she went 3 for 12. And I talked to her, and she just said, you know, Coach, it was my first game. And it just shows you, even when you're a senior, there's nerves in a game, and she has really settled down, and she's put together back-to-back games. We're still working on her to be able to score a little better on the inside and not just be a 3-point shooter. And then, you know, the first thing I look at is to see how many rebounds she ended up having. And so she has 4 rebounds tonight in 14 minutes of play. And that's a great deal better than 38 minutes of play and 3 rebounds. And so those are things that we build upon, but Marta's playing with so much confidence.
Are you also seeing something similar in Rochelle coming off the bench where you can plug her in when needed?
Yeah, Rochelle gives us a nice lift offensively. And the biggest thing that, you know, for Rochelle is, one, stamina, and to be able to go out there. And then, once again, Rochelle gives great effort defensively, and she just keeps learning what she has to do. And there's times she gives up in size. And so we just continue to try to move her. Tonight was about trying to get her to front at times, and that put some pressure on us defensively over the top. And so those are things we're working on during the game that we know we're going to have to use with Rochelle. But I'm very happy with the way Rochelle's playing and what she's been able to do for this team.
Of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the Golden Age of Radio, Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480krae.com.
It's a tradition that dates way, way back. I'm talking about Taco John's and the can't skip holiday tradition, better known as Nachos Navidad. Now you remember all those red and green tortilla chips, the incredible nacho cheese, the cool sour cream, and of course the amazing 100% American beef. When Santa asks what you want this year, tell him Nachos Navidad. Then tell him where to find it. Taco John's.
There are a lot of things that can go wrong with your vehicle, and most of it is a minor problem. And John at Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service knows the right way to get you back on track. So with temperatures heading south, now's the perfect time to winterize your car or truck. This can be done with a simple oil change, maybe a tune-up, checking the thermostat, brakes, and shocks. It's the little and important repairs that Cars has performed on all makes of vehicles now for over 25 years to keep you motoring along in any season. For an appointment, call 632-0498 or stop on by at 604 West Lincoln Way. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, open Monday through Friday.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be sunny with highs around 54 and winds out of the west at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 30 and winds out of the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 52. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 27.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We'll keep it here on a basketball note for today. We also have Craig Bohl's press conference coming up here in just a little bit. We also have some tickets that we're going to give away from the Fish Bowl of Awesomeness. It will be the Cowboys and the Air Force Falcons coming up this Saturday.
Final home game, senior night, all that fun stuff, or
Senior
at least
day.
senior day, as it will be, what, about 2 o'clock kickoff, I do believe, for Saturday.
Weather's
Snow,
not looking too
snow
good, yeah.
expected, but fingers crossed that it is, at least does not happen, but who knows. But, again, the final home game, again, for the Cowboys, a must-win, but we'll get into that once we get to it.
Yeah, let's also keep it on the basketball side here. University of Wyoming head basketball coach Alan Edwards announced the signing of Kenny Foster to the Cowboys for the 1920 season.
So it begins.
A native of Aurora, Colorado, Foster is the first signee of the signing class. See, and again, when we were talking to all of the coaches, this recruiting is all year round.
Well, it's never changed, though.
ends.
Again, I think Alan Edwards, and again, every coach we've spoken with, it's not changed due to social media. Again, it's always been 365. It's just a lot easier to at least scout these players and
Get a look at these guys a
get
lot
an
quicker,
understanding, at least, a lot faster process. But again, so it begins here with at least looking at the 2019-2020 season for the Wyoming Cowboys basketball team. Again, not to make jokes, but hopefully, again, these players stick around with this program as, again, what we saw in the last offseason. Again, a lot of the players had issues, at least had to leave the program, kind of let the cupboard at least kind of bare for Coach Alan Edwards there with the basketball program. So hopefully, again, these prospects do stick around with this team.
Foster is a 6'5", 190-pounder. He plays at Smoky Hill High School. Was rated a 3-star recruit by Rivals. He was an all-state selection last season, was one of only 3 juniors to make the team. He helped Smoky Hill reach the Grade 8 of last season's Colorado 5A state basketball tournament. He is a 3-time All-Centennial League first-team selection and a 3-time Centennial A-Town All-Star Game participant. He's averaged 17.8 points, about 6 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and almost 2 steals per game in his career at Smoky Hill. And, of course, he has one more year to go.
Good on him, I guess.
So, yeah, as a matter of fact, he started at Smoky Hill since he was a freshman. Last season, Foster surpassed the 1,000-point mark. He was also recruited by Colorado, Pepperdine, UC Davis, Pacific, Cleveland State, Denver, Milwaukee, and Montana State. So,
is it something to get excited about? I mean, it's kind of with me on just signees, draft picks, anything like that. It's, okay, you got a good resume, but will it translate to here's this offense, here's this style, here's this team? Will you mesh well? Will it turn into something positive? Again, only time will tell. Will he mesh well with the Coach Alan Edwards system here in, at least over in the Hill with Laramie? Again, only time will tell. So, again, seeing the resume, it certainly, again, a 3-star recruit. Certainly a positive. Certainly at least something to keep an eye out for. Again, as you know, it is a ever-rotating, constant with college basketball. Hopefully he could be a playmaker coming up in the future.
last night, we had the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles taking on the Air Force Prep Academy
Our
Lady
first
Huskies.
broadcast with them.
Yeah, and Brian Ortmeyer's team now out to a 4-2 mark. after last night's 71-62 win. And again, if you, as Nick mentioned earlier, you can rewatch the broadcast over on our YouTube side, 1480 KRAE.
There you go.
As you go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we were watching some of it just because of technical stuff. And again, if you want to watch a game, like being there, I mean, really, I actually enjoy watching that rebroadcast because it's like I said, I feel like I'm in the stands watching the ball game. Anyway, going back to the game, you have to like this team's going to grow. It's going to get better. LCCC, the Lady Golden Eagles. I just feel right now they had all the sophomores on the floor last night, except for Gabby O'Connor again. She may be listening to the program as a sophomore. We had it reaffirmed last night.
She's technically, again, as a student, she's a sophomore. Absolutely.
Athletic-wise, she is a redshirt freshman. So, again,
she does have that option. But, again, she is at least graduating after this season from LCCC. But, again, still has that chance to play. And, again, for our hope and for also to Coach Ortmeyer, especially after what we saw last night, I hope she does remain with this team for next season as well because, again, she was just a force to be reckoned with, at least last night. But the key thing for me from last night's game, again, a talented Air Force prep team, absolutely. They gave their heart and soul, again, and where they were playing with pretty much bare nubbins of where, again,
eight bodies and 6 only played.
Yeah, 6 only played due to one player at least fouling out in that contest. But, again, all of them, all 5 playing majority of the minutes, playing all of the minutes, at least in that contest. I give them credit, but for LCCC, the astonishing stat for me was just how bad shooting was, and you still come away with a victory. Again, the percentages, at least field goal percentages for LCCC, it was not pretty last night.
27%. But the interesting point, though, to what
you're
trying to say.
I'm just saying, usually with that stat, though, you don't win most games. And I think Coach Ortmeyer in the post-game comments, he mentioned with you, he kind of had the same sentiment of, we kind of got lucky there. And defense kind of carried them last night.
Their defense was really good. They caused numerous turnovers. But the key stat was the turnovers last night. I think by having Gabby O'Connor along with Carly O'Brien, and then you also throw in Haley Anderson in the backcourt, you got 3 capable young ladies that can handle the basketball very well. Yeah. And I thought their passing last night was pretty decent for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, LCCC, as we've talked with Coach Ortmeyer on the Coaches Show, again, at least for us, our first broadcast with the women, again, we have an understanding that they've had some turnover difficulties early in a few contests, but they've kind of quieted down or at least figured things out in the second half in those games. This one, it just seemed like, they played pretty decent at least basketball. Again, kept the turnovers to a minimum. And also, too, they found a lot of turnovers on the defensive side. Again, a lot of steals. I do believe, again, leading the team on steals with at least 5 of them was Gabby O'Connor, where she was just a force to be reckoned with. Again, she was just both sides last night, just great for the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles.
And both Carly and Gabby saved most of their scoring for the second half, which was really needed for the Lady Golden Eagles, as you said, not an off-shooting night for LCCC.
Well, it seemed like for LCCC in the beginning at least portion of that contest where Air Force Prep was keeping them out of the inside lanes, and they were basically daring them to shoot from behind the arc, and LCCC gladly did, but they were not sinking them. Here comes the second half. Air Force Prep kind of had the same mentality of pushing them outwards, but then eventually LCCC finally found their stroke and actually at least got to sink a few threes in that contest. But it was overall, again, not a pretty performance by LCCC. Again, I think Coach would rather see at least that field goal percentage go a little bit higher next contest again,
especially at home.
Well, I'm talking about for the next contest on the road at Trinidad State. But
you want to play a lot better than you want to shoot a lot better.
I'm just saying, if at home and say if it was a Trinidad State, I don't think LCCC comes away with a victory per se. Again, with those low numbers, I think they were very fortunate, and again, that defense was able to quiet down this Air Force Prep team who did claw their way back. They had a few leads there in that contest. Did manage to tie it up a few times with LCCC, but again, I think that defense kept them quiet there in clutch moments there, especially in the fourth quarter.
Well, and I also like, too, for the Lady Golden Eagles in that contest last night, they got some physicality thrown at them, with Crompton in the middle. That Berardi, she was 5'11". I do believe Hess was right around 5'10", 5'11". And again, these three young ladies for the Air Force Prep Academy, all freshmen, they're pretty strong, ladies that were trying to shut down the middle.
And they did.
And always had a hand in your face as well.
I'm just saying they did shut down the middle for the most part. Again, we saw those difficulties where folks were not driving in for LCCC. They were, again, like I said, they were basically daring them to shoot from behind the arc. Say, hey, if you're not going to step on in, let's see you make a three at this point in time. And again, LCCC did have that difficulty throughout that first half. But, again, they were tested. At least those were some big ladies for Air Force Prep. But, again, did not intimidate LCCC one bit.
The Lady Golden Eagles will be off this weekend. Matter of fact, as Coach Ortmeyer said in our postgame show, it's nice to get a week off and get some things done away from the basketball court, like, doing some lifting in the weight room and what have you. Mm-hmm. So the Lady Golden Eagles' next action will be down at Trinidad State as they will take on the Lady Trojans. That will be coming up. They have the late contest. That'll be 6 o'clock. Yeah. On
so men and women will switch at least places on Tuesday. So men,
we will have both games.
Yeah, we'll have both games. But again, men will be up first at 4, and again, tentative schedule for the women right after the men's contest wraps up. Again, around 6 o'clock.
It'll be a late night for you. It'll be a long drive down and a long ride back.
I don't drive, so.
Well, I know, but it's a long ride. I mean, you're going to the base of Raton Pass. I mean, it's way down there. All right. Anyway, so we will have men's action coming up on Friday evening. They will have P2P. That's
Power to Play Elite.
The elite team. Again, a bunch of former alumni. Again, not just guys that just get together and shoot hoops. These are pretty good guys. I mean, they're again.
They've tested a few Region 9 teams.
They beat North Platte last year. I remember that in that tournament up here in the rack. And again, they can come out. They get hot. You got to watch out for this team. And again, LCCC is not the same team as last year, where they were a veteran team. This year, they are all except for Hayden Collier, who had a few minutes last year. This is a new team on the floor, so it'll be a good contest. Looking forward to that. 7 o'clock tap time here on 1480 KRAE again with all of the visuals. You can do it on YouTube, Periscope via Twitter, and again 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, and 1480KRAE.com. Also, we wanted to, before we go to the break here, and we got Coach Bohl standing by, we got tickets to give away here in just a couple of moments. What the hell is going on with our Golden State Warriors? I know
they're injured. They're dealing with injuries.
I know Draymond Green.
Draymond got suspended for Tuesday's game.
That's going to cost him. And I'll give you the one-game suspension here in just a second. But Draymond and Kevin Durant got into it after the loss to the Clippers.
This is not a first-time thing. It's been happening for quite some time.
But Draymond's very vocal.
Yeah, again, he's again a player you love to hate, at least for around the NBA. Again, he's not afraid to say what's on his mind. Again, he wants to be that vocal leader, and he certainly has been for the Golden State Warriors. And again, it's kind of proof to that being in the locker room where usually, again, who is the mediator, who is probably the utmost captain is one Steph Curry. Well, he did not travel. He's not with the team again as he's dealing with an injury.
But he is now with the team. He is traveling this time. But, and Kevin Durant is kind of a silent leader. He really is a quiet.
But again, he's a guy who's not afraid to speak his mind either. But he's not afraid to be in confrontation.
But in the loss to the Clippers the other night, Draymond got the rebound, brought the ball down, and KD was, clapping his hands wanting that shot. And they never did get that shot, and they ended up losing to the Clippers. And it escalated from the floor into the locker room.
Well, it was nothing that showed on the floor, but eventually things clashed in the locker room.
You could see Draymond being a little vocal on the floor. And then it escalated in the locker room, obviously behind closed doors. But the thing is, though, with all of that, Warriors management, including Coach Steve Kerr, they had to set some precedent here saying this is unacceptable.
Well, and they did with the, at least, again, one-game suspension for Draymond Green, again, which was yesterday's contest. But they kind of did. And, again, I think all it is right now, this is just stemming frustration as this team is dealing with injuries. Again, a lot of players were missing. You saw last night's starting lineup. Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant were the only notables on that team. The rest, everyone else is pretty much dealing with injuries or some sort of bug, and they're trying to overcome this kind of little slump that they're in right now at this part of the season. Again, if in my opinion of what we're seeing, I think it's just all kind of frustrations, just boiling at a boiling point right now for Golden State, where they're just trying to get back on that winning track and trying to figure out a few things. But going back with the KD and Draymond situation, supposedly again now it's rearing its ugly head right now that we're understanding that this is not an uncommon thing between these two.
It's not their first rodeo.
And now rumors are swirling. Now things are coming out of is this the last straw? KD will
leave it be.
Yeah.
You and me should leave it be. We know that Draymond Green is a free agent in the
2
season.
2 years from now, KD will be a free agent after this season.
Yeah. So, and again, I think this is all going to work out. And again, the media. The big medias.
Well, again, media polls for everything.
They're looking for something to say. Hey, there's dysfunction in the Warriors locker room. There could be.
I mean, there technically is. Again, after that, absolutely, there is a little dysfunction right now. But is it something that they can overcome? And again, with a Stephen Curry, could he come in and mediate and try to basically temper down these two big time all-star players? Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. I think he can. Again,
but also
this is a team that should have won four straight.
Steve Kerr definitely better step in as the head coach because he's been through this circus before. There was a guy named Dennis Rodman in Chicago at the time of Michael Jordan's great success.
Well, I think
Steve
Kerr also got in his own confrontation with one Michael Jordan as well too in his time with the Bulls.
But I'm just saying, this situation, Steve Kerr, obviously he should have learned from what happened in Chicago, pass along that wealth of expertise to say, hey, guys, put it out right now.
Yeah.
Let's get it done. Anyway, Warriors did win, so, I mean, they're 12-3 for being dysfunctional.
It's not a bad start for this team where, again, you kind of look where they're at right now. Again, this team is not – again, for the Warriors, it's kind of the same situation with Cavs with LeBron we're doing in the East where – you don't really pay attention to the regular season. It's you know the Warriors are going to the playoff bound, at least playoff bound, especially in the Pacific. Is the Clippers going to contend for that title? No. Is the Sun are the Suns going to compete? No. Lakers, I don't see it. Kings are trying to figure out things, but I don't think they have enough to at least carry in the second half.
The Nuggets are trying to screw the season right now.
I'm talking about Pacific, but if you want to look at the West, Nuggets right now, they're in a world of hurt where they're
9-5 now.
Yeah, again, off of the great start they were having, now they're just finding all sorts of troubles.
And I want to wrap this up here because we got to get to your fishbowl of awesomeness. So 1 day's pay. 1 day of pay that Green will not be paid for while serving the suspension. Are you ready for this one?
It'll go to charity, but yeah.
Yeah, but are you ready for how much he is not going to get paid in this one?
Day, I say $125,000.
$120,480. A
so
day's
$5,000.
pay. Wow.
And again, off of that
that
was a genuine at least guess on my part. Does not surprise me.
Again, your part.
That's what I said.
You said port.
We'll
go back to the film on that one too.
Yeah, whatever. You want me to point out all your flaws from last night?
You do every time.
Exactly.
You need to better yourself. I get a lot of emails on that saying this guy has no reason to be chastising you. I said, I blow him off because
show me those emails.
Oh, I will. I'll be more than happy to show those.
Yeah, you don't have them again. Yeah.
All right, I save everything.
Please.
So anyway, the point is $120,480 for Draymond Green. That is his punishment for being suspended for 1 game.
I get chump change for him. So.
All right, well, we got to get ready to check in with Coach Bohl and his press conference. First, we want to send not one, not two.
Well, we're going to send 5. So, again, today we'll give – you can do your little countdown now, but –
Well, how many are we going to send out today?
3.
All right, so we're going to –
But we have 5 in total, though, so I'm just saying we have 5, but only 3 of them.
6 people are going to be going to
I said 5.
I know, but today we're giving away 3.
And tomorrow we'll give 2.
And that would be 4. So that would be a total of 10 tickets that we're giving away.
Why'd you make it so convoluted? Why not just say pairs?
I know we're giving away 3 pairs today, but that would be 6 people that are going to be our guests.
You're an idiot.
Over at War Memorial Stadium. So With that being said, Mr. I speak English as a second language, Nick
Says
Perletta
you.
across the way. Go to the Fishbowl Optimus. Pull me out 3 winners for today.
Yeah.
And then they've been doing this through Facebook, right? All week.
There you go, as we have done throughout this season, and we'll continue on with Cheyenne Stampede tickets and also to Wyoming Cowboy basketball season. Again, it's ticket vouchers, so we'll be giving away ticket vouchers to go see the Cowboys throughout the season. But yes, on the Facebook side, thank you to all who did enter on that post there. Again, still have opportunity if you're not one of the 3 today, still have a chance for tomorrow's giveaway. Again, where 2 pairs will be given away on tomorrow's show. So first winner who will win a pair of tickets to go see the Cowboys versus Air Force this Saturday, 2 o'clock there in Laramie, Wyoming. Again, the final home contest for the Wyoming Cowboys, a must-win for them if they still want bowl chance for this season. Also, too, on top of that, we will give a pair of goodies to our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Del Range and Windmill. I do believe chicken biscuit, so we will give away 2 of those for you and your friend to go test that out. So winner number 1 of the pair will be Mike Lewis. So Mike Lewis, you are winner number 1 for today. Winner number 2 will be, let's go, oh, here we go, Cheyenne Leal will be winner number 2. And then winner number 3, let's give that, so you know I'm reaching down far below for whoever's here, and it's going to be Walter Hall. Walter Hall will be our 3rd winner. So Mike Lewis, Cheyenne Leal, and Walter Hall will be our winners for today. Again, 2 winners will be determined on tomorrow's show. And for all 3 of you who won today, again, I will message you on Facebook how you come by and pick up your tickets. Again, don't let these go to waste, as, again, it's going to be possibly a fun one coming up this weekend, this Saturday. Again, a must-win in the final home game for the Wyoming Cowboys.
All right, congratulations again to our winners. We're going to take a timeout. We come back. Coach Craig Bohl steps up to the microphone with this press conference as the Pokes prepare for the Air Force Academy. Of course, this was celebrating their bye week last week, so we're getting ready for the Falcons coming to Laramie on Saturday. Back after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Style and value come out strong on the newly redesigned 2019 Kia Forte. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne, and the Kia Forte has new performance improvements and technology innovations that rival the competition, and Forte is priced less. Right now, during our Light Up the Holiday sales event, you could save even more on the new 2019 Kia Forte. Compare Forte to Cruze, Corolla, or Jetta and see that the Kia Forte offers you even more for less money. Come by or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Get started today. It's great to see everybody here. A big week for us, getting ready to play Air Force. I think they're an excellent football team. I know they came up with a big win against New Mexico last week, and the week before that they had a really competitive game against Army, and Army right now is playing really well. Last week we utilized a week to work on fundamentals. We also spent a great deal of time working on Air Force. I think we're probably as healthy as we have been, so that's encouraging coming into our last home game. I want to encourage our fans. to honor these seniors. I think we got 14 of them that are going to be here. Some of these guys have played a lot of meaningful games, and so we're excited. Our football team's excited about playing Air Force. It's a big, big ball game. A couple notes that I do have here. Zach Watts will be back this week, so we're encouraged about that. Rocket Ishmael will also be back. C.J. Colden, I would say right now, would be questionable. We'll find out a little bit more information. He's getting really close to being cleared. So we're encouraged about that. A little bit about Air Force. I mean, they're a really attacking defensive front. They're probably as big up front as what they've been since I've been our head football coach on defense. Their numbers are really good. They're 22nd in the country on rushing defense, and so really challenging. They stun a lot, present a lot of different problems for us. They played a different quarterback last week for the entire game. Hammond played really well. He's a big, strong guy. He's 6'2", about 210 pounds. And what they do, they really make you honor every threat that they have, whether defending the quarterback, the fullback, the halfbacks, the tight ends, or wide receivers. They'll spread the ball out all kinds of different places. So, it's a scheme that really has challenged a lot of people. It's challenged us in the past. Our players are really excited about this football game. Our coaches are excited about it. It's our last home game. So with that, I'll open up to questions. Yes, Robert.
You mentioned Hammond, the quarterback. I know that you mentioned they've played a couple, but he seems to bring a kind of a different dynamic. He seems like he can throw it as well. What you've seen on film, what does he really seem to bring?
Well, he does have the combination to be able to throw and run. He's got good physical size. He operates the offense well. And so anytime you have somebody that can be multi-threat like he is, that just stresses the defense. And so we're assuming that's who we're going to see this week. He was not listed as a starter last week, but he started all game. And so that's what we're planning on.
Last week you said that you kind of wanted to address the playbook as it relates to Sean Chambers and maybe make him a little more balanced and use the bye like that. Did that end up happening during this bye?
Yeah, we think it did. There's certain elements we're doing. Certainly he's still running the ball some, probably more than what we've run a quarterback in quite some time, but I think he's got the ability to throw the football, and we're doing some other different things in the running game. Certainly with a bye week, we've been able to add some more things offensively as well. Yes.
You guys have had pretty decent success slowing that option down compared to what they usually have done in the last couple of years. Just what is the biggest one or two keys to stopping that, slowing it down?
First of all, I think our defensive coaches have done a great job as far as getting themselves acclimated to option football. Some of that goes back to maybe some of the time that we had when even though it's a different style of offense going against Georgia Southern, those years we were in 1AA football. But, just because we've had some success in the past doesn't give us a template that we're for sure going to do well. But our coaches work really hard. We do have disciplined players that make sure they're doing the right things. We'll get stressed, but we feel good about our players and the scheme that we have.
What's the challenge in preparing for that when you don't practice against it?
Well, simply because everything's new. And what this offense does, it makes you be assignment bound, where sometimes you can take on a different play and you'll have pursuit that will cover something. Here you have to be assignment bound, and when they have the ability to throw the football like Robert brought it up, that just stresses you more. Yes.
Just follow up. I mean, obviously it is option football, but it seems like they use a lot of different looks and sets. Or is it still brass knuckles of it still option football because they do it out of so many multiple sets that it's even more of a challenge beyond just option football?
Well, they certainly have diversified their offense from the pure wishbone or flexbone, as most people would call it. I mean, they're in I formation, they're in shotgun, so they make you cover the waterfront, but the elements of option football are still there.
Getting Granderson back in a game like this where your team is going up against triple option, is that a game changer for you?
I wouldn't call it a game changer, but it's certainly helpful to have Carl back. We supported Carl. It was a death in the family that he missed the San Jose game, and he came back and he's had a good week of practice, and we're anticipating him playing well.
I know it's your seniors last game, hopefully obviously more football, but what is this senior class, man? I know every senior class is probably special to you and your staff, but in particular, what is this class, man?
These guys came when there really wasn't a whole lot Certainly our facilities were not where they are. We hadn't had a winning season in a while. It was a new coaching staff, so these guys bought into the belief in what our coaching staff was not selling but presenting to them. So there was a faith and a trust, and these guys, it'll be tough for me personally to see these guys run out one at a time as they exit and play their last game at War Memorial.
Coach, you talked about the Air Force defensive front.
Mm-hmm.
Have they adjusted much in terms of what's made them more effective this year than years in the past you've seen?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it's not so much adjusted. I think they just have better players, and they're bigger and they're stronger. They penetrate. They establish the line of scrimmage, and anytime you can do that, and that poses problems.
You're battling Air Force for bowl eligibility. I already know your answer on it. You're just trying to go 1-0. But is there talk in the locker room about getting this game so you can go to a bowl?
I think all the players, everybody, Air Force is in the same situation we're in. And so I'm sure their mantra is exactly the same as what ours is. I mean, we all recognize, first of all, this is a big ball game, and we're trying to extend postseason play, but guys are mature enough to know, as the coaches are, that postseason play goes out the window. You got to focus on this game. Yes.
Like every conference game or every game is big, but obviously we know a lot about the Bohl war. But would you consider Wyoming and Air Force a rivalry? At least since you've been here, I mean, I'm not heated or not, but is it a rivalry?
I think a lot of it comes into the proximity. The two schools have competed for a long, long time in the Old WAC and the Mountain West. I know our players enjoy playing this game. As coaches, we enjoy it. I'm sure they feel the same.
Talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Cowboy fans, it's Senior Day and the final regular season home game for Cowboy football. Come watch Wyoming continue to battle in the Mountain West and congratulate the seniors on their careers when the Pokes host Air Force on Saturday, November 17th at 2 p.m. in War Memorial Stadium. Arrive early on game day for the Pepsi pregame zone, tailgating with family and friends, and Military Appreciation Day festivities. Get your tickets today at GoWIO.com or call 307-766-7220.
Christmas memories come alive when you shop at family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. You can select your favorite tree beginning November 20th from the enormous selection of fresh-cut trees ranging from 3 to 9 feet, live container trees from 3 to 7 feet, and the grandest of all, the fresh-cut cathedral trees ranging from 10 to 13 feet. Shop for your Christmas tree indoors and out of the cold only at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. The sights and the sounds of the Christmas season are awaiting you on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne, where you can shop 7 days a week after Thanksgiving. Remember, gift certificates are available too at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be sunny with highs around 54 and winds out of the west at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 30 and winds out the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 52. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 27.
Here, the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We will save some talk for the National Football League coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, which will lead into our press conference with Vance Joseph, head coach of the Denver Broncos. Also in the 4 o'clock hour, 4:30, Neil Breen will stop on by Cheyenne Stampede. He has a special player that he'll be bringing in today, too.
For Dawson Nelson out of, he's not, it's on the outskirts of Vancouver, but again, it's around the Vancouver metro area. So a little international flair joining us today on the show. So again, Dawson Nelson will be joining us.
So we have a Canuck, eh? Coming up.
Keep on going.
Well, at least I think of the stuff you don't.
Oh, wow, that's really clever to go Canada and A. Congrats. You want to talk about a Maple Leaf joke, or you're so predictable.
I'm looking at one standing up right now.
A Maple
all
Leaf?
right, a leaf all together.
I'm just like, again, I got the sweet camo jersey from courtesy of the Cheyenne Stampede. I'm almost like John Cena standing up here. You can't see me with the camo.
All right.
Just saying.
All right, we're going to talk some baseball. And
I thought we were talking pro football.
That'll be coming with the 4 o'clock hour. Is it the 4 o'clock hour yet?
It feels like it at this point in time. But
Well,
I guess we could talk baseball. We had awards given out. And
we got Bob Melvin, who this is becoming an
Not
old hat
surprised.
for him. But it's old
not,
hat.
Not old hat. I
Well,
mean,
it's his
he's
third-
not won it
it's-
every.
It's his third one.
But he's been with the A's. Oh.
I understand it. They got the lowest opening day payroll around, but Melvin won it 2007 with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2012, he took the honor with Oakland, and again here in 18.
Yeah,
that's three. That's not too
It's
bad.
not bad, but it's
kind of a tribute to what he does with baseball teams.
Well, again, more so with at least with the Oakland A's, I'm more surprised again. Where again with the A's, they are the lowest spending team across
$68.6 million payroll.
Compared to that, to what?
Giants are over $200 million.
Yankees are pushing it. Yeah, Dodgers are up there. But yeah, again, what they did wins of payroll is nothing short of just phenomenal. It looks like we have a phone call. Let's make sure it is a local one. So if you want to go,
let's go to the phone here. While you're answering that, we will again let everybody know that Bob Melvin was the American League Manager of the Year. We'll get to the National League Manager of the Year here in a bit. Good afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm on my way to work, so.
Well, that's not a good thing.
Well, that's what happens when you work the night shift.
Yeah. So what can we do for you today?
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt your talk on baseball, but listening to Coach Bohl's conference, as an athletic trainer underneath probably one of the greatest defensive coordinators I ever saw, Del White at the University of Wyoming.
All right.
Del White told me that you don't need to be a defensive genius to beat Air Force. You need two things and two things only: penetration and contain.
That's usually what you do back in the old wishbone days, and now with the flex bone. Because with the flex bone, you're going to have 4 guys touching the football: fullback, the 2 wings, and the quarterback. You need to have a spy on the quarterback at all times. And then again, your linebackers are your big guys that are going to have to stop the penetration of the wings going through, and of course your defensive line got to bottle up the fullback. It seems simple on paper how to bottle up the wishbone or the flex bone, but for some reason, and you know it as well as I do, Air Force, and we go back even to the days when Kenny Hatfield was with the Falcons. For some reason, those guys seem to bust through with those counters. They go for 50, 60 yards, and then all of a sudden the fullback gets into the secondary, and he's gone for about 50 yards.
Yep, that's true. But I mean, if you get your penetration from your defensive ends, and your linebackers basically know their role and basically keep eyes on the quarterback, you've got it stopped. So
yeah, and the thing too, and I think you're absolutely right on this. You know as well as I do, you beg Air Force to throw the football, because if they're throwing the football, they're in deep trouble.
Yes, exactly. Because if they've got to throw, that means you've shut down their run game, and they're basically paralyzed now.
So, as you look at this game coming up on Saturday for the Cowboys, and I'll be real honest, I have been down on the play calling this year, offensively.
Clearly, hasn't been on that. Or at least,
and this team is 4-6, and I expected bigger things from this team. So, obviously they make the change at quarterback. I'm not going to be happy.
It's a change at quarterback,
but I'm not going to be happy even if this team goes 6-6, because it's not necessarily going to get them a bowl.
No,
I mean they're going to be bowl eligible. But I'm just going to throw this out at you, caller. The season to date, how your feelings on the season?
To me, I think the season was a disappointment, quite handily. I think that offensively we struggled. We shouldn't have. I think the offensive coordination was basically, I don't know if they put handcuffs on those guys or what they did, but the lack of play calling and the lack of basically opening up a playbook, that pretty much killed the team. And I think with watching from the season previous and going into this season, I don't think everybody was expecting, the same thing that Josh Allen had put out. But at the same time, I think they expected better than, a potential 6-6 season. I think they were looking at potentially maybe, going 8-4, maybe 9-3. But, you know that you were going to get the loss of Missouri. You knew that was coming. You knew that you were going to get the loss against Washington State. But other than that, you should have been pretty competitive all the way across the board and should have pulled it out to basically. So if you take those two games out, potentially, you're looking at a 10-2 season. But, you throw one in as just, maybe you didn't play well or penalties or turnovers or anything else. But I think the fans were expecting more around the 8-4, 9-3 season. So to me, it was a disappointment.
Well, and the good news, if you are, a staunch Cowboy fan, the schedule at the end of the year worked out for the Cowboys. I mean, it's weak.
Well,
with the opponents,
with
the opponents under the Mendoza line.
They're very fortunate of what they got.
They're very fortunate that they could wrap up the season at 6-6.
It's a possibility.
But here's my opinion on this
Air Force
one.
gave New Mexico again. They beat New Mexico, and New Mexico's a good outfit.
My opinion, though, is I don't think the Cowboys deserve a bowl. Just because,
not at all.
Just because of the competition they've beaten at the end of the season. I don't think they deserve a bowl.
No, I don't think they do either. I think that they probably should take their 6-6. And then I think that they really, in the offseason, they need to, one, look at revamping their offense, and two, send the coaches out and hit the recruiting trail, and hopefully potentially finding a couple blue chips. To be honest with you.
Or you may have to look inside the coaching staff as well, and maybe make some decisions. The athletic director may have to make a tough decision too, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I don't even think it's the athletic director that needs to make the decision. I think the head coach needs to make the decision. That's his call. But at the same time, you're only as good as the head coach as the assistants that you put around you.
That's true.
And, if your assistants are not, cutting the mustard, then, you find another hot dog to slather the mustard on.
All righty.
So,
we appreciate the call. Thanks so much.
You betcha.
Have a great night at work. All righty. And again, to his point, I know we need to get to the top of the hour, Nick, but to his point, too, my reference there was to the athletic director may have to move Coach Bohl. That's what I'm talking about. But also, too, where he's talking about maybe looking at Coach Bohl is going to have to look within his own circle there of assistant coaches.
I think
these guys have been with him for a long time.
And I think this is a point in time for Craig Bohl. He needs to look internally and figure out, is this something he wants to continue
He's
on?
had the option before,
I think for Cowboy fans, again, this goes back to a conversation we had weeks ago of that. I think fans at this point in time, they're over of, hey, celebrating, hey, we finally made it to a bowl. No, it's more so of, you want consistency. Why is it Boise State always wins every year? Or, again, it sits atop of the Mountain West and gets to these prestigious bowls. I think for Cowboy fans, it's maybe that's kind of the pulse around the state of going, hey, we've been to bowl games. That's cool. It's fun. We love it. But we want more consistency. We want to compete for Mountain West championships. And so far, it's not there.
Well, I'm like you, and we've said this before. I'm not going to pack my bags to go to Albuquerque to the New Mexico Bowl.
No, I could care less.
Yeah, I'm not going to that. When we went down to the Poinsettia Bowl, that was okay. Yeah, I could live with that one. It was, and the famous Potato Bowl, I wasn't all that fired up about it, but I'm glad they got a bowl bid. What are you going to go to? The Nickel and Dime Bowl? Because that's about all that's going to be available for you.
That would be the New Mexico Bowl at this point in time.
You know what? Nobody cares.
No. Again, it's the first bowl out.
Yeah.
Again, December 16th or whenever it goes off, it's one of the first few out of the gates. It's just those kind of – it's almost like the CBI, the CIT tournament of, here you go. We feel bad for you. Go play.
And it's going to be 15 degrees warmer in Albuquerque than it is here. Good for you. All right.
Anyways.
Hey, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back with hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, it is our Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show coming up at 4:30. Back with more after this.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2, thank you again to our very special friend Alex over at Chick-fil-A who brought us over some eats and treats today. And again, you want to try that new peppermint chocolate chip milkshake that they have. It's a seasonal event, so again, you got until the end of the year. Again, 3 squares available, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And remember, Chick-fil-A for not just the holiday season, but any occasion where they will come and cater. Just go to CheyenneChicken.com. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill, Delrange, right across from Menards. My good friends Ray and Cindy Mefford, thank you so much for being wonderful to us. We will never, ever, ever forget you. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30 having their hail of a sale. Taco John's with a plethora of locations here in Cheyenne. Nachos Navidad time. Gift certificates also available. Remember, Taco John's, always a perfect gift for a Secret Santa gift. Just throwing that out there. Kia of Cheyenne, over on Nation Way. Don't forget the 18s must go. 19s are arriving. And Greg and A.J. Miller say, come and shop with us. They're gonna make you an offer you just can't refuse over at Kia
How about
Cheyenne.
that as a Christmas gift there, too? I'm not buying you a car, but... Again,
You should be buying me a car.
I afford... No.
You know,
I can afford my car.
You should be fortunate that you know me. Anyway, Platte Valley Bank Types 2 banking locations.
That's a hindrance.
Catch them over on the east side. I'm probably good for your career, pal.
Please.
At the east side, at the corner of College of Pershing, the original location on Vandehigh Avenue. Medicap Pharmacy, same location as always, not their first rodeo over there on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body, the main auto repair center over on Dunn Avenue, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank, you'll find Tim and his fantastic staff over on Stillwater Avenue, right across from Mondello's Pizzeria. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, the home for Joe Mondello and his delicious Paisan cuisine. And again, Mars Plumbing Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. We kick things off with our scoreboard in hour number 2, which is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
That's what I'll do for you. I'll get you a Pepsi for your Christmas gift, and if you push your luck, you might get a 6-pack from me. Anyway, so LCCC Women's Basketball in action, a game you heard here on 1480 AM, also too live streaming with us as well on YouTube and Periscope. But the LCCC Women's Basketball squad got the victory last night against Air Force Prep, winning 71-62 for LCCC. They moved to 4-2 overall. LCCC women's soccer in action as well. Yesterday, they were in the Division I Women's Soccer Championship pool play as a game. They were taking on Eastern Florida State College. They lost that game, however, 4-0. They are still in the national championship, at least tournament. Again, it is still within pool play, continuing on. NHL action for tonight, 4 games on the slate. Chicago Blackhawks at home at United Center hosting the St. Louis Blues. Now get underway at 6 o'clock, and you can see that game on NBC Sports Network. Winnipeg Jets at home hosting the Washington Capitals. Boston Bruins in Denver, Colorado, taking on the Avalanche at Pepsi Center. That game will get underway at 8 o'clock, and you can see it on Altitude Network. And last but not least, Vegas Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena in Sin City hosting the Anaheim Ducks. That is 8:30 puck drop on NBC Sports Network. That's what you can expect for NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA slate, 76ers will visit the Magic in Orlando. Cavaliers and their 1-game winning streak will head to Washington to take on the Wizards. Bulls and the Celtics in the TD Garden in Boston, Mass. Heat and the Nets in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Pistons and the Raptors in Toronto tonight. Grizz and the Bucks, they will match up in Milwaukee. Used to be the Bradley Center, now it's the Fiserv Forum.
Hey, guess what? You change corporate sponsors. Go figure.
That's right.
It's kind of like how it's no longer Sports Authority at Field down there, right?
Well, because they're out of business.
There you go. Hey.
They folded up shop. Pelicans and the Timberwolves in the Target Center. Knicks and the Thunder in the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Jazz Mavericks at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix has the Suns hosting the Spurs, Trailblazers, and the Lakers in Staples. Tonight's scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves, Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Well, in the first half of the season, he was 34-36 and then led his team to a 63-29 record from June 16th on, thus becoming the AL Manager of the Year, Bob Melvin. So congratulations.
Is there any surprise there? No.
Well, no. And again, actually, Alex Cora made a very good.
He's a good argument, but again, what was more surprising, what was more, at least more impressive, was Bob Melvin. Again, the complete turnaround or the possibility to win the AL West, where this A's team was pretty much dead on arrival from at least from spring training. It was Houston's to win it, and no one else's was going to compete.
What do you think about Tampa? Tampa got rid of all of their frontliners, and Kevin Cash still led them to 90 wins. So,
what did Tampa do?
Yeah. They didn't make the playoffs.
Did they? Yeah, I was going to say.
But they're also in the division with the Red Sox, who won 100 and change games, and the Yankees, who almost won 100
too
games.
Bad. They didn't make it to the playoffs. So, again, the Oakland A's did, however, as much as they were one and done.
There you go.
Hey, they still competed in the postseason. But
yeah.
Again, when I look at you, I
move on. You're just
you want to keep on continuing. Again, I'll make a compilation, and we'll do that when you're.
That's fine.
I have hours of footage.
That's fine. Yeah, well,
days.
I would say we got months of footage.
Months, years.
All right, over in the National League, Bud Black finished third for the Rockies this year after a little better record than last year, and leading them into the actual divisional series against Milwaukee. You always interrupt me. So Brian Snitker of the Braves, who won the NL East, he is the National League Skipper of the Year. Craig Counsell, the Brewers. There's an argument there.
Yeah, I think so. But what was more impressive, or at least what was kind of the big storyline, was the Atlanta Braves of what they did in the NL East. As much as the Eastern Division compared to, at least other than Philadelphia, the rest of it was pretty much pathetic. But Atlanta Braves, what they did this season was short of phenomenal, and I think they'll continue heading into next season. They should be up top, and obviously, if Machado does go to Philadelphia, that might elevate the Phillies, but again, I anticipate the Braves should. This is starting of something that could be a pretty I want to say a few years is probably at least what we could see the Braves kind of being on top, because no one else in the AL or at least in the NL East is competing anytime soon. The Mets, no.
Washington is going to be.
Washington's going to be. They're going to be basically depleted.
Yeah, they're losing.
And then the Marlins are just awful.
You're losing your pitching. You could say bye-bye to Harper. He's not coming back.
Harper's a guarantee he's not coming back. He's fishing right now, and teams are desperately trying to get him out there. But, again, where he will land, again, only time will tell, and hopefully it will be will it be around winter meeting times? Probably. Maybe not.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows about all that? So the winter meetings are going to get underway here pretty soon. So there'll be some movement. There'll be some, activity. Again, free agency. It hasn't really it's not in effect yet, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we got other things to deal with before that anyway. So
all right. Well, anyway, just thought I'd throw some baseball stuff out there real quick again. Snitker from the Atlanta Braves and Bob Melvin from the Athletics.
We're getting close to where we need to get to the Vance.
I understand that. We got about 3-4 minutes here to talk about it. And real quick, I want to go back to our caller that called in and, expressing his thoughts on the Cowboys. And, again, he goes back a long way. Del White, it goes back to the Paul Roach years. And
well before my time.
Well, yeah, and Del was a defensive mastermind where we had some really great defenses. And, again, the defense this year for the Cowboys, and I think you'll agree, Nick, is not bad, but when they're spending way too much time on the field.
No, I get it's something that
early in the season they were on the field.
I'm just saying, with this defense, we knew they were going to be excellent. It was a situation where was it going to carry this team for the most part, and it certainly has. Is it going to, as you thought, was going to elevate them to get victories against a Washington State or other programs?
And I did think they were going to beat the Cougars.
Well, unfortunately, they didn't, and I was one of the few that said, no, you got to respect this Washington State team because, again, look where they are at in the Pac-12 North, where they are one of the elite teams right now in the Pac-12. But, again, yes, this defense, I think with their numbers where you look at season stats or player individual stats and at least more so the season team stats for at least for the defensive side for the Cowboys, I feel are a little inflated due to the fact that they've spent so much time on that field. It does not reflect of how well this defense actually does play. Again, it was very competitive in that Washington State game for, 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter where they were out for, again, 3/4 of that game, essentially, they kind of collapsed where they were just essentially tired. Same kind of results of what we saw with Utah State, Boise State, where they were competitive. They kept these teams very, at least, again, offense was hard to come by in the early going for a lot of these games that they played, and then eventually when that defense tired out, then the points kind of crept on the board for those opposing at least teams.
Well, and I made my point too, and I'm going to make my case again. Not to say, hey, if you're gonna unload the guy or unload the staff, that's entirely up to the AD. But I think the Boo Birds are out there now in full force. We are mediocre. This coach in 5 seasons has not been great shakes.
He's sub 500 overall.
Yeah, he's
sub 500 in Mountain West play.
8-6, and then maybe went 8-5 last year. But my point is, it's not going anywhere. Like the caller said, it's not going anywhere.
Again, it goes back to my conversation of what I was discussing weeks ago, or at least maybe last week, saying about this team is you need consistency. Why is it that why this team can't find consistency? Why can't we win every year and expect a bowl game every year like a Boise or possibly to take out of the West? Yes, and Fresno State, again, those teams that are consistently winning and making it to bowl games. That's where I think Wyoming, and I think for fans, you've kind of gotten over the hump of, yeah, cool, we finally made it to a bowl game because we've been such a terrible outfit for year in and year out. I think we're kind of past those days where right now for the Wyoming Cowboys, you expect them to make it. You expect them to be kind of a Boise State-esque,
right.
not to be that elite team, that top 25 team. That's something else you got to work upon.
Consistency.
But you want a 7-5 season or a consistently 8-4.
Whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, you want to be bowl eligible every season.
Absolutely.
To a certain degree.
Yeah.
Not go bowl and then 3 years not going to a bowl. Or go
you go 2 terrible years.
Your peaks and valleys.
Peaks,
that's what it is. And I think fans are not all that thrilled. You came in and said that what you want to do is win Mountain West Conference championships. You're not doing it. 5 years. These are your kids.
Yeah.
So, right now, the proof's in the pudding. As you said, his record speaks volumes right now. It is under the Mendoza line.
His record speaks volumes compared to the previous 2 head coaches, again, Joe Glenn and also to Dave Christensen. In their 5 seasons, or at least with Joe Glenn, he was in 6, but in their at least 5 seasons with the Cowboys, they had a better overall record than what one Craig Bohl has currently now.
And they each went to a bowl game as well, too, during their tenure. By the way, real quick here as we got to take a break, Vance Joseph up next. The Air Force Falcons are favored 2.5 points for this Saturday's game against the Cowboys at the War. I thought the Cowboys would be favored in this one, especially being at home. Air Force, they're not all that great shakes as well. All right, we are going to take a timeout, come back. Vance Joseph ponies up to the microphone after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
Taco John's wants to help you simplify your holiday shopping and help you score a $5 TJ bonus card. First, the shopping. Need something for your coworkers? Give them Taco John's gift cards. Don't know what to get your BFF? Give them Taco John's gift cards. Mom, dad, brother, sister? 4 words. Taco John's gift cards. Now the $5 bonus card. That's simple too. Just buy $25 in TJ gift cards and you get a $5 bonus card for you. It's going to be a very Merry Crunchmas. Only at Taco John's.
Did you know High West Energy has been serving residents of Laramie County for 75 years? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op proudly serving 10,000 customers in 3 states, including 20 subdivisions surrounding Cheyenne and F.E. Warren Air Force Base. We're owned by our customers who share in the profits and have a voice in ensuring that we maintain high standards while keeping electricity costs low. Keeping energy affordable for 75 years. HighWestEnergy.com.
A Touchstone Energy partner.
Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Legerski, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be sunny with highs around 54 and winds out of the west at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 30 and winds out of the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 52. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 27.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
You guys enjoyed your weekend. I enjoyed mine. As far as injuries, guys, we got some guys coming back. Obviously, before you can rule them in or out, practice is always important, so I can inform you guys more on Wednesday about the injuries, okay? Questions?
Who do you expect to be back at practice on Wednesday?
Well, I'm hoping for our Darren Stewart to be back. Deshaun Hamilton, Royce Freeman, those guys. Roby. So obviously the time that we had over the break and the time those guys missed was obviously good for the injuries, so they should be back, hopefully working Wednesday.
You looked at the film from the first half of the season over the bye week. What trend stood out to you most?
I think offensively, I think we have to obviously start faster and score more points early. I mean, obviously being better in the red zone, being better on third downs. The numbers don't lie there. I think defensively, we had a couple games where, we didn't stop the run. Our nickel run defense wasn't very good. Our base run defense was really good, but obviously taking the ball away more, helping our team that way. We need more of that. And on special teams, our return units have to get better. So there's a lot of things that we watched and saw that we can get better at, obviously.
Coming out of the bye, you had that game against the Giants.
Sure.
Season changing, right? Well, what needs to change this time as you guys come out of the bye?
Well, I think last year was a lot different. It was an early bye last year. I think week 4 or 5. It was last year. I think this year our team's different, Nikki. It's later in the season. I think last year has no effect on this year, honestly. Our goal is to get better. Just to go back and kind of see what we've done well and what we haven't done well, and to fix those things that we hadn't done well. That's the purpose of the bye, and obviously to get some guys back off of injury.
You and Case talked last week about how it takes time for a play caller and a quarterback to learn each other. Is that common to take maybe a half a year, with a veteran guy?
I think it's very common. I think it's very common to take some time with those things. You're just trying to figure out your football team. It's those two guys obviously, have to be on the same page, but it takes the line and the backs and the receivers also. So it's an entire unit trying to gel, over a time frame. But obviously we can get better, offensively. And I thought Case played one of his best games last week, and I'm looking forward to watching him play this week.
You say you need to score more points early in games. Does that mean just better execution at the start, or does that mean more interesting play calling? Or?
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Simple as that. Score more points. Whatever it takes.
So tough to win AFC West road games for this team now, where it wasn't for the better part. Well, I mean, Peyton's here, I get it, but why is it so tough to win an AFC West road game, Troy?
Right now, I can't speak for 5-10 years ago, Troy. I wasn't here. But it's tough to win any road game in this league. This division's tough. You got the Chiefs. You got the Chiefs twice. You got the Chargers twice. You got Oakland twice. It's all tough places to play. They all got good football teams, and I think every coach would tell you in each division it's tough to win, divisional games because they mean so much to everyone. So it's no different here. You know, obviously this team we're playing this week is a hot football team. They've won 6 straight. The quarterback's playing at a high level, so it's going to be a challenge for us.
Slowing down some of the other teams that you played on those winning streak, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Texans, what's the key to kind of finishing that off?
Well, just winning. You know, you said it. You know, we played some of the better teams close, but there's no moral victories in this league. You know, we want to finish and win these games. And again, you know, we welcome the challenge of playing the best teams, and we've had our chances with 3 or 4 of them. So we are battle tested, and you know, our team won't shy away. You know, we're going to have a great week and go play and see what happens.
How is DeMarcus Walker taking advantage of his opportunity the last 3 games, and can he have a bigger role moving forward?
He's done a fine job. You know, he plays hard. You know, in his role, I mean, he probably played about 10 snaps total in each game, and he plays hard. And we're hoping to get him more inside rushes so he can do what he does best, and that's rush the pass from the 3 technique position. But he's a hard worker. He's a young player, and he's improving.
Johnson position, health-wise, playbook-wise, where he could be a factor on defense in the second half?
Well, we're hoping. You know, he had his first chance to dress last week, and he did a good job on teams. But we're hoping with more time, he can catch the playbook and he can help us on defense. He's obviously a big body, and he's a really good tackler. So hopefully with time he can help us.
Harmon's helped you out a lot in the run game and last week in the pass game. What have you liked about his development over the last couple of years?
I'm really impressed with him this year, especially because he's worked so hard to get to this point. He's been one of our better players each week. He's been very, very consistent in the running game and the pass game. You said it, and he's making big plays for us. He's making difficult catches. He's a matchup problem for safeties right now because of that big body. So, I mean, he's done a fine job. So hopefully he continue to get better and keep helping us on offense.
As you met the team coming off the bye, did you have a theme to your message going forward?
Not really a theme, Mike. You know, we've got 7 weeks to go. You can't win all 7 in one weekend. So, you know, my message to the team is small focus. You know, focus each day on meetings and practice and one game at a time. You know, that's our message to the team. Is small focus.
The bye week is time to look back and reflect. It's also time to look forward.
Sure.
I just want to know, after a year and a half, what have you learned about yourself as Broncos head coach?
Myself as the Broncos head coach, I think I hadn't changed much. You know, I'm the same guy, you know, who I've been my entire life. But I think as a Broncos head coach, you know, I just want to win more games. You know, that's the bottom line. That's the business we're in. And, you know, we're all judged on winning football games, you know, and as far as my personality, I hadn't changed much, and I won't change, the good or bad. I'll be the same guy, and that's who I am. So, but I want to win more games, you know, for our coaches and our players and our city. That's my goal. I want to win more games for us.
You're up and need to play desperate football. Do you sense that the guys in the locker room feel that way?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, our team is desperate. You know, when you watch us play, we do play a desperate brand of football. I told the guys, hope can't be your strategy. You know, you can't hope to win. You can't lucking to win in NFL games. It's too hard, you know. So we have to play better football. We have to score more points early and play dominant defense. You know, that's our brand of football. You know, so hope can't be your strategy. You got to play better.
Talk about the offense early in games. Are teams just doing a good job scouting you coming in and to what's on your script?
I think everyone does that. You know, I think the first 15 to 20 plays of the game, man, you can tell right away if your plan's pretty good, you know, if your plan's not good, you know, or if it's player error. You know, in my experience in this league, in that first 15 to 20 plays, you can tell right away, okay, if your plan's good, if your team match up well, you just know, you know. So I think in the first 15 to 20 on both sides of the ball, you know, we have to play better football. Last week against the Texans, the first drive, they scored on us. Now, we had some player error in that drive, you know, that we can't have. But offensively, we didn't get our first down into almost the second quarter. You know, so we can't have droughts like that and expect to win games.
Being on winning games, though, you have this bye week. You personally, do you take some time to get away from football, do something that gives your life balance, or is it more?
I'm ready to go. No, I'm fine. I'm ready to go. I'm not tired. You know, I'm ready to go back to work and help our team win games. I think most of our players feel the same way. You know, when you're desperate to win, I don't think being tired gets in the way. So I'm ready to go.
Game without Demaryius Thomas, how much of it was an adjustment for Emmanuel Sanders? Did he change spots on the field too? And did you see what you wanted to see out of him?
Yeah. He didn't change spots on the field. He still played his own position. Obviously, Courtland played the Z. He played the X. But as far as what he's done for us the last week and a half, has been pretty cool to see. As far as him being a leader in that room and watching him at practice with those young guys, how he pushes them and kind of drags them along. So I've been really proud of him. And obviously watching him play. He plays on fire every weekend. So it has not really affected his play or his status on our football team at all.
Made about Philip Lindsay's size coming into the season, but as you watched him now, is there any reason to think he can't finish strong and have the same kind of workload?
No, it's been 2 months and he's been healthy. He's a shifty runner, so he has not taken direct contact except for Kareem Jackson last weekend in the flat. That was his first big hit he's taken, but he's a durable guy. He's got great flexibility. Doesn't take direct contact. He runs behind his pads, and he's a really, really good inside runner. So it's been 2 months. It's not a fluke. It is what it is. He's a pretty good football player.
Home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYLY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
One of the safest choices drivers and passengers can make is to buckle up every trip, every time. In 2016, seatbelt usage in passenger vehicles saved an estimated 14,668 lives nationally. We know it will save our lives, but too often we forget, many times with dire, potentially fatal results. Make sure you and your passengers buckle up every time. Paid for by federal highway safety funds. Cheyenne Regional Cancer Services now offers genetic risk assessment and counseling that may help determine your chance of being diagnosed with cancer. If you have a personal or family history of cancer, especially cancer diagnosed under age 50, you may benefit from a consultation to look out for your now and your family's future. For more information about our genetic risk cancer assessment and counseling service, please call 307-634-9311.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Coach's Show time. It is the Cheyenne Stampede Coach's Show, as we have head coach Neil Breen joining us. As I guess we'll start off, Coach. Sky is falling. Circle the wagons. What's going down? Now, we talked last week, and we knew the customers that were coming into the Ice and Event Center were the top dogs. Let's talk about your thoughts on everything that happened over the past weekend.
Yeah, Friday was just not good. We didn't show up as a team like we should have. I think hurt us a little bit. We had our top guys out of the lineup. Our best defenseman was out of the lineup. One of our best forwards was out of the lineup. We had a few other injuries. So that that kind of the wind's out of the sails before it even starts. Kind of mentality was in the room, and I didn't feel good going into it with that clientele being out of it, but we were fine for the first period as usual, and to our testament to our guys, I see them getting better every week. that kind of showed in Game 2 and Game 3. Like we held them strong right into the second period and late in the second periods, and when we play to our identity, like we're a very good team. And a lot of times it's an issue of not trusting the process. Like, I want them to possess pucks below the dots and protect and drive nets and play the game hard. And that's hard to sustain over the course of 60 minutes. And, we get better at it every week. And I think, as time goes on, I know it doesn't show on the scoreboard, but, we're getting better. And like I said, we're going to acquire some pieces that are going to help us to get even better. And the real work starts in January. I mean, we're trying to put the team together the right way and play the game the right way. And as January comes around, we should be in a place that's a lot better than we're at.
No, let me go to you real quick, Nick, before you go into coach. You were there Saturday night.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were busy on Friday.
Yeah, I was up in Casper.
Yeah, and I was busy Friday as well. And then again, the homestand concluded on Sunday. You said Saturday, not too bad of a crowd that came out. So, again, the support for the Stampede, again, the loyal fans of Cheyenne and the surrounding area are still there.
Yep.
And, again, these young men that are on the ice need to start absorbing some of that Cheyenne fandom at each contest.
No, I agree. I mean, we have very strong fan support. I mean, our fans, I think a majority of our fans do see it. I mean, and our diehard fans, they're going to be there win or lose. You know what I mean? And obviously we want to generate new fans, and new fans can be fickle because they want to see W's, and I get that. And we're going to produce some wins. It's just it's a process, and it's like I always say, trust the process. And going against a top dog like that is a tough one, but I was very happy to see that we still had a good base of fans in the stands, and you're right. Our guys need to realize that those butts will be in the seats tenfold if we're collecting those wins for sure.
Trusting the process, taking a page out of the book of the old, at least the Philadelphia 76ers of what they're doing. And again, a team that's kind of turned it around and become a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference, at least in NBA talk. But I want to go back to what you were talking about earlier, Coach, of, again, focusing on the numbers, or at least kind of expand upon of what you're at least describing there, of saying you at least, again, we can look at what the standings are, what the scores are. Those stats are widely available online. Everyone can take a look at it. But on your end as a head coach, where you spend majority of your time, again, besides the games, you have practices, you see these kids from multiple hours. It's a situation where the numbers don't reflect of what this team is. It is something that from beginning of the off season, working exhibition to at least where we are, 16 games into this regular season, it's something that you've said and you've seen so far, that this team is vastly improved from where they were point A to where we are now, point B.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't understand that this is a development league. I mean, junior hockey is a development situation where you're helping kids break youth hockey habits and habits from previous coaches or organizations that they're playing in, and getting them to
explain how hard that is. Though is it like a very hard thing of like what would be kind of a scenario of, is it just kind of puck handling of, that's very incorrect, this is how you do it? Is it something like that?
Yeah, it's definitely like puck management is the buzzword of the day. I mean, it's been the buzzword since the guys got here in August or September, I should say. Puck management at the youth level today is, kids are not watching hockey as much as they do up in Canada down here, and kids are not watching hockey as much as they used to in general that are playing hockey today. If you watch the whole game and you absorb the whole game, you see, like, let's say NHL, let's use that as an example. You don't see a lot of handling of pucks and guys trying to manufacture offense, which is like, in any sport. We were talking about this before. Let's use basketball as an example. Like, you're not going to dribble straight up to your defender. You're going to try to dribble around the defender and protect the ball from that defender. In hockey, it works the same way. You need to protect pucks and keep pucks away from the defender. Well, kids today, they watch the highlight reels. And highlight reels are in place because, we talked about this before, because it happens very little. That's why it's a highlight. And kids that's what they see on TV, and their coach, like their inexperienced coaches that they may have had are kind of teaching them to stick handle through objects and things like that, and creating these habits that, really are very, very tough to break, because that's all they've known for, their whole youth hockey experience. From the time they start when they're 4 or 5 years old, they're learning this stuff all the way up until they're 16, 17, 18 years old. And so those habits are very difficult to break. And if you watch the NHL, you watch college hockey, you don't see a lot of guys stick handling in between skates and sticks. And, you see quick release shooting, you see protection of pucks, you see you moving your feet and skating hard to get away from your defender and creating space for yourself. And that's, and that's kind of the identity that I'm trying to get these guys to understand the importance of. And if you watched our first periods and our second periods, you'll see a lot of that. But it's a very hard thing to sustain it for 60 minutes. And a lot of times when you're tired, you go back to your instincts, your old habits. So really hard. And that's why we're trying to, and I also want people to know that, we're getting a lot of college attention for quite a few of our players. And, so we're doing everything right as far as the skill development side of things. It's just a matter of ingraining that into our players so that it becomes a habit.
Again, essentially what I equated, and we talked off air, again, not saying that you're a high school coach, but again, kind of that equivalent of, again, what is our focus is to get these young athletes up to bigger and better things, whether it is to minors, whether it is to that college level. It's trying to focus on them to improve them as an individual. And again, this one stop here in Cheyenne is hopefully that place to elevate to them, at least for bigger and better things, essentially.
Absolutely.
Coach, you mentioned about film.
Oh, yeah.
And again, too, do you have up to the minute film on your upcoming opponents?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do pre-scouts.
Now, do the kids sit down with you and watch, the forwards and the defensemen and the netminder? I mean, they're watching all of the tendencies of a previous game, whatever.
Yeah, depending upon our opponent. Some opponents are pretty typical. They don't really change their game a lot, so if we've played them in the past.
Do you remind your team that the team that you're playing is not Alabama every week, and that any given weekend that these guys can come through and bust through with a win?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, that's we talk about it on a weekly basis that we are a very good team when we want to be, and it's evident that, like I said, in our first half of games, we're a very good team. And we've kind of got a rash of bad luck with guys being sick and guys being hurt and things like that don't help. So you're riding like two lines and a couple pairings of D, and those guys get tired by the end. So we're getting now to a place where we're acquiring more clientele to help with that part of it, and then we're still working on that identity to stay strong for a full 60 minutes. And yeah, I mean, we do.
And I'm not being funny about this. What I'm saying, because it's like on any given night.
Yeah.
If you go through all of the X's and O's, so to speak, that you have taught the young men before that contest with whoever you're going to play, if you go out there and execute it, there's a very good possibility that you could come away with a win.
Absolutely.
So I guess my question is to what you were saying, and if I heard you right, that they're adopting the philosophy that you guys are trying to instill upon them, but they still have that. Some of them still have that nasty habit of going back to, well, this is what I learned when I was younger, and I feel more comfortable with this. How do you get rid of those bad habits?
Yeah, it's just sustained, lessons. It's constantly reviewing. It's cycling back to the basics of the skills we're trying to teach, and then applying it into a game setting.
Do you call me into the office and say, hey, Larry, first period, with the front line looked good. Second period, I could see some shades, that you're starting to go back. Third period, I lost you altogether. I mean, are we going through that, like on an individual basis with these guys? Because, again, I think and again, this is what you guys have to offer to these young men. You are the eyes. You only could do so much when you're on the bench on game time.
Right.
But when you have that opportunity off the ice, This is where the instruction has to come in. And
Exactly.
are we getting closer there? Because I hear it in your voice that we are. We can see the forest through the trees.
Yeah, I mean, going over game film is a big part of what we do, and that's what we use to teach. And you pick up mistakes or you pick up positives and you point them out using video, or a lot of times just the one-on-one conversation is, hey man, like that was a really good period, and the reason why you had a good period is because you're skating hard, you're moving your feet, you're banging bodies, and you're shooting pucks. This constant reinforcement of the right character traits of a good hockey player is all about what we do. I mean, it's giving them that confidence, like, hey, this is the right thing to be doing, like trust the process. Yeah, there it is again.
Trusting the process, absolutely. Again, I give kudos to you and at least this team as well, where, again, this same Ogden team that we saw last year around March, I do believe, they came into town at the Cheyenne Ice and Event Center, where pretty much offense, you guys, at least the team of last year, practically sat on defense for the full 60 minutes in that contest. Didn't get any shots on net.
Right.
At least this 3-game series, you were actually, again, competing. You, again, had opportunities, and you gave them a full fight. And, again, I think that speaks words. Again, it's not that shows on the stats. It doesn't show in scores. It doesn't show on the standings. But it's something that, compared to last year, it is a vast improvement of what we are seeing. So
I agree.
Let's bury what happened this past weekend. Again, Ogden, we know, 18-0. They are the top dogs in the Western States Hockey League. Coming up this weekend, you'll be on the road again. You'll be taking on Steamboat Wranglers, a team you saw in exhibition earlier this season.
Mm-hmm.
They come in 2-12-1. Give us a little insider information on what to expect from the Wranglers.
Yeah, I mean, they play a simple game. They're a chip out, chip in, and straight line and body type of team, and that's kind of what we're preaching with our guys, and it should be an entertaining game for sure. I mean, the simple game is really what we want our guys to play. So it's really going to come down to who competes harder, and I think we definitely have the guys to do it.
This would be almost like a back to basics type of series against Steamboat this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a good opportunity too for our guys to kind of to take that next step forward because of the identity of the team we're playing. I mean, Steamboat, like I said, they're a simple team that they're structured and they play a straight game, and if that'll show, like we're used to playing against like a Utah and an Ogden who are they'll get the puck in the defensive zone and they'll have a guy in the neutral zone and they'll send it 3 lines across, and next thing you know, they're in the zone on offense. So, Steamboat doesn't necessarily have the high-end skill guys that these other teams do. They're going to kind of play a similar game that we do, and I think it'll be a nice place for us to identify, like, hey, what we're doing is working. And it'll come down to who wants to compete harder.
I know Nick wants to take a break, and we got to wrap things up with you here real quick. Coach, if you can see it, and again, you're on the bench and you have some great eyes, assisting you. You're seeing all these great squads. And again, I'm going to give them their due. They're bigger, they're faster, but they all put on their pads and everything else like our kids do.
They're older as well. So
they're older. But what are you seeing? I mean, again, are we seeing they're one step faster? They're one weight room stronger than us. What are you seeing with these better teams?
No, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing teams that have the maturity and the to capitalize on mistakes. I mean, we're making mistakes defensively, and they're capitalizing on them, and we're not recovering from those mistakes. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, we can be right there with any team if we're not making as many mistakes and we're competing just as hard. So, I don't see that they're faster, bigger, stronger. I see our guys right there with them. I think it's more along the lines of we just got to clean up our act a little bit.
All right, Neil Breen joining us on our Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll chat with one of the Stampede players after these words right here on 1480 KRAE. Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Roger's already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Roger's RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
Go down the list. The new 2019 Kia Sorento is impressive all the way around. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and you need to compare the Kia Sorento against the competition on price, warranty, safety, awards, and standard or available features. Right now, during our Light Up the Holiday sales event, you could take advantage of some of the year's best offers. Available Dynamax all-wheel drive and a new 8-speed automatic transmission will keep you going down the road this season. Come by or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be sunny with highs around 54 and winds out of the west at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 30 and winds out of the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 52. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 27.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. It is our Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show. Now we get a chance to highlight one of the players. Where's number 7?
Yeah.
On the Stampede. He is Dawson Nelson. And Dawson
our first Canuck.
Yes, from Abbotsford, British Columbia, and he's a forward for the Stampede. Dawson, I guess my first question for you about Canada, and again, not going to make any jokes about.
Please don't anymore.
No, I'm not going to make any jokes about Canada, our neighbors to the north. But it says British Columbia. Explain British Columbia it's part of Canada, right? Or are there provinces? How does that all shake down?
Well, we have provinces, and British Columbia is a province on the west side of Canada.
So you're on the west side. Where would be the next province as you go east?
Alberta.
Alberta, okay. Now, again, you are close to Vancouver, if I understand right from our conversation.
Yeah, just on the outside, just.
So, and tell us a little bit, how big is your community that you live in?
I mean, our community is pretty big. We don't have, like, the tall buildings as Vancouver, but we do a lot of farming out there, too. We got good people and lots of hockey out there, and it's pretty nice.
And certainly you got the one pro team. I'm assuming Canucks fan, possibly, or all right. So
all the way, yeah.
So you're a Vancouver Canucks at least person. So and again, off-air conversation, at least kind of coming from the Neil Breen territory. But let's go into that for you, Dawson. How did you know Coach Neil Breen before your time, at least joining the Cheyenne Stampede?
Just a scout that I met. He introduced me to Coach Breen.
All right. So
and how old are you?
I just turned 16 in June.
So you are like relatively new to the Western States Hockey League family, where you've got hopefully 4 more seasons or 3 more seasons to go after this. I guess my question is, do you plan to go through that time being part of the Western States Hockey League?
Eventually, I want to move up and play in the North American Hockey League or the British Columbia Hockey League.
Are you still in high school?
Yeah, I'm still in high school.
Are you doing what they call correspondence classes? I mean, how does that work for you being a high schooler?
I just take 3 classes a day, and then I get out early to go to practice.
Now, do you have classes here in town?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm in high school here at town.
Well, which school do you go to?
Central High School.
Go to Central, okay.
So he's an Indian. I guess we won't knock him on that one, but at least as an East Side grad here. But anyways, for you, Dawson, as again, you just know from Neil Breen as a scout, but what kind of made the decision to come on down and join the Cheyenne Stampede?
I mean, I don't want to like pass up on any opportunities, and I just want to pursue my hockey career and just start playing junior.
Talk about the differences between at least British Columbia here to the dry high plains of Cheyenne, Wyoming. I mean, that's got to be a little shock to the system when you came out here for the first time.
Yeah, the altitude's a lot different, the weather too, and just not a lot of mountains from back home. And
how did you get used to the altitude? Was it something of just kind of hitting the treadmill a lot, skating a little bit longer on ice? I mean, how did you get adjusted to that?
Water.
Water?
Just a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Let me ask you this question, and again, we were talking with Coach Breen, and again, the season is not going to it hasn't started out good for you guys, and again, it's a learning experience, and again, you are seeing the Ogdens of the world, and you've seen the Greeley squad, and again, you're going to be going up against you went up against Casper. You're seeing bigger guys. So technically where you would be a freshman in high school, you're going up against guys that are seniors. Tell me, is it a little bit intimidating for you? I know you guys all look big when you got pads and you're all geared up, but is it a little bit intimidating? And again, you're not going to say a wrong answer, yay or nay.
I mean, well, that's part of life, but I don't really let it affect my game. I just play the way I play, and I'm fine out there.
So, as you see these different teams, the conditioning part, as you mentioned to Nick, and drinking a lot of water, are you heavily into the weight room and trying to build upper body strength? What do you do away from the ice?
Either studying for school or working out and trying to get in more shape for hockey.
Is there anyone that you kind of look to in the NHL towards your Vancouver Canucks? But I mean, is there any person that you kind of not so much imitate, but maybe look to how their play style is to kind of maybe translate on ice for yourself?
I'd probably say Milan Lucic, just like he plays a physical game, and I play a physical game too, and he keeps things simple, and that's what I try to do.
Keep it as simple as that. So, I mean, you got to like that. Again, Dawson Nelson so far, again, talking with Coach Neil Breen. You've been, again, a special player for the Cheyenne Stampede. And again, a young entity with his team. And, again, hopefully you will stick around for many seasons with the Cheyenne Stampede. So, again, best of luck, at least coming up throughout this season for you, Dawson. And, again, hopefully we'll pick up a win coming up this weekend here in Steve.
What have you seen thus far here in Cheyenne? Most of the kids that we talk to your age, it's like, well, there's nothing really to do after 9 o'clock. Is Cheyenne kind of like a lot different than your hometown?
Yeah, it is.
And you're going to leave it at that, and good for you. But what about our fan support that come out for watching your games? Obviously, it's not watching a Vancouver Canucks game, but, I mean, are you impressed of our fan support that you have?
Yeah, the fans are great, and it means a lot to our team, too.
All right, sounds good.
Is that something before coming to the Cheyenne Stampede, as we talked, I do believe with a few other players that they never experienced kind of fan support, is that something that you had in your kind of peewee days, or at least going and playing through hockey as a younger, at least athlete? Is that something that you got to experience already?
No, we just had like parents watch our games, but this is a good experience for me, and I'm loving it.
Is it something that you can kind of, I want to say kind of fuel the experience, but also too, is it something that kind of, what am I trying to look for? Of just kind of elevating your game, though. Is that something you can draw for the fan support, where that crowd gets into it, and you kind of just get that adrenaline boost, essentially?
Yeah, it creates energy for me, and the way I play my game, the fans here love it. So,
how about one final thought for me? And again, too, you're far from home.
Yeah.
And again, I'm sure that you have relatives that are following you in your home area. Do you ever get that homesickness a little bit? And again, I know you're probably with some really caring folks that are taking care of you right now, but does that homesickness set in from time to time?
I mean, I come from a family of 7, so it's it's.
So you missed the fighting with the bros and the sisters, right?
Just brothers.
Oh, just all brothers?
Yeah.
Are they all hockey players like you too?
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. All righty. Hey, we want to thank.
I think we have a new, at least Coach Breen. If you're listening,
Coach Breen could probably staff a new, a second team here pretty soon.
As I say, you already got. Well, you got one line there. Yeah, I mean, you could work on a few players here.
Yeah, another third line.
Anyway.
All right, Dawson, thank you so much for joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We got to wrap things up here. Want to remind everybody, coming up at 5 o'clock, we will have the best of the 50s and 60s inside your radio. Tonight, 8 o'clock, Sherlock Holmes ×2. From 8 until 9 and from 9 until 10, it will be Suspense Theater right here with our Golden Age of Radio Theater. And thank you again for joining us and supporting those programs. You, Nick Proetti, to the left of me.
That would be me, yes.
You have our, what happened on this date in history?
Well, I'll leave it to, again, as a hockey theme, as what we have for the 30 minutes. Don't throw up your arms like that. I'll leave it to everyone out there, including Coach Breen and also to Assistant Coach Logan Wilt here. But at least it's November 14th. We'll go back to the year 1964. This hockey player, this NHL legend, recorded a record career goal on this day.
But Gordie Howe.
There you go.
Ooh.
Anyone
from Detroit.
All right, so you got that one. Guess on the number?
No, I'm not going to guess on the number.
All right, so
it
was November 14th, 1964. Detroit Red Wing Gordie Howe sets NHL record 627th career goal on this day.
I just happened to be old enough and probably saw him. Anyway, we got to wrap things up here again. Dawson, thank you, coaches, and we thank you.